Martin, we were talking to Tim Stützle before you came in, and we were talking about athletes hitting their stride. And it was one of those seasons for Stützle, and it seemed like it was one of those seasons for you as well. 71 points, 28 goals. The skill has always been there. NHL is a hard league. How did you put it all together this year?
I feel like, after kind of bad season for me, had a great summer, was healthy, and just, try to, even work on my mental a little bit, being better, be more, don't play in the waves, but more like, on the same page most of the games in the season, and just came into camp feeling really good, and, started the season well. Then I, got on the first power play, playing, with no goalie, overtimes, and just, started producing a little bit. And, I earned the trust a little bit from Roddy, and, obviously then the confidence does the big things, and, I feel good.
Do you think he was testing you early, saying, all right, let's see how you are, and let's see if you can take advantage of this opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you got to earn the, spot from him, and, he always wants everyone to work hard, which I feel like everyone on our team does. But, for me, I feel like it was more, I feel like I got a little better on defense, and then offensively, he, once you play good defense, he gives you a little more freedom offensively, and, it was good. We played for most of the year with Sledge together, which we kind of found a good chemistry before, he got injured. And, I felt good. I feel like there is still step to take, but I feel like it was a good bounce back season.
This is a Carolina Hurricanes team that's loaded with skill. And we've talked before on the podcast about how when you just look player to player, and again, there's a lot of skilled players, I think you're probably the most, just as far as pure skill goes, the most skilled player on the Carolina Hurricanes. How much rope does your coach, Rod Brind'Amour, give you? Or is he always saying, look, simplify, simplify, simplify? Essentially what I'm saying is, how much does Rod Brind'Amour just let you play and say, you know what, let the skill take over?
Yeah, I feel like, the more you're scoring, more freedom you get. I feel like that's normal everywhere in every team. And, obviously you got to play the structured, game. You got to play, defensive, how everyone else plays. But, offensively, once you get in an O-zone, then he tells you, you got a freedom to do some stuff. Obviously, you don't want to do turnovers, especially on the blue lines. But, once you get in an O-zone or, on the rush, then it's free. You're free to do whatever you want. And, you just want to do those turnovers that, might cost you a game or something. But I feel like once you feeling good about yourself, feeling confident, then, you don't really think about these mistakes, and you just play the game and, having fun. And for me personally, when I'm having fun, I'm playing my best.
What is the angriest you've ever seen Rod Brind'Amour?
I don't know. He seems, everyone thinks always that when you see him, he's yelling all the time, or, he's jacked. He's probably still in a shame to play in NHL, but, he's in a locker room. He's a really nice guy, He's nice to talk to. He doesn't yell often. I knew coaches before, even like from Czech, but in NHL I had only Bill Peters and Roddy. But for him, he doesn't yell. He only yells once or maybe twice a season when we really need it, on the bench or when we were playing a bad game. But I feel like for him, once we work really hard, we play for 100%, and even if you lose, it's fine. But once you don't give it your all, then he's mad.
It's because like those eyes, like they're so intense, they're so piercing. I figured he would be. That's pretty impressive that he doesn't do that very much.
Yeah, I mean he's. Sometimes he had those clips where he was yelling at the refs and stuff.
You're not a referee, so that's different.
That's different, but for us in the locker room, he's he played the game. He knows how it works. He only yells when it's really needed, and he's I don't know, but to be honest, his speeches are incredible. He always prepares them before every game. It's always a little different. It's not just about the hockey; it's about life, and it's feels like it's a special gift that he has, and he always motivates us with something else.
Want to run through a wall after it's over.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to ask you about one specific moment in the series against the New Jersey Devils. Might have been a small one, but it seemed like everybody was really happy when it happened. The Haula fight. Everybody on the Hurricanes bench seemed to really like that.
I was wondering if you were going to go there.
I am going to go there. Is there anything to that?
I don't know. I feel like every time he plays against us, he's tries to play hard. Obviously, he plays gritty, and there was people always booing him in Carolina once he touches the puck. So because that was actually the first year when he left, I think he played for Nashville. If I'm right, the next season we played him in the playoffs. It was after bubble, and I don't know. Me and him, we were kind of having something against each other in the first playoffs, and then since then people are somehow booing him, and then there was something that he didn't beat us yet and he played in 4 different teams. So that was a thing. But after last series, we talked, and he was just like he has to do that. That's the way he plays, and after a series he was fine. But I just saw he had some
the bracelet or whatever
with something Kane sucks or something like that. Excited to play against him again.
You know what you have to do next year? One of the games in Carolina, you have to reach under, rip off the bracelet, and skate around holding it.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You'll be
I'm
a
gonna
hero.
I'm gonna give him a new one. I love Canes. Yeah,
that would be. You'd be a viral superstar.
Oh, I should do that.
This year again, speaking of playoffs, I mean, much like last year, we looked at Carolina and said this team has a shot at winning the Stanley Cup, and I don't think anyone has changed their thoughts on the Carolina Hurricanes. Skating with the weight of expectation can be tough. When you're an underdog, hey, no one expects you to do anything, and everything, it's just fun, and you're playing. Is it more challenging knowing that everyone says, you know what, this Carolina team could win the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice thing to hear, because obviously we have expectations, but it's nice to be up there. 4 or 5 years ago, nobody would ever talk about Carolina. Now, we're getting a little bit up there, and I feel like our team just got even better this offseason, and hopefully everyone's going to stay healthy, which is important. One of our best guys last year, Swedge, got injured before the playoffs, which was a huge loss. But hopefully everyone's going to be healthy. We're going to play our hockey the way we play. It's it's hard to play against, and just play a game at a time. And once we first thing is to get the playoffs, and then starts a different game. And we got a little more experience. You got a good team, and great goalies.
I was thinking about. I was looking back at your playoff run last year. You guys win 2 rounds. You're feeling really good, and then that final series begins with like that long game, and that when you lose that one, and it just seemed like the momentum got just sucked right out of you guys. Like it's crazy how quick it changes. What do you, when you look back at the Eastern Final, what do you think?
Yeah, and the first game, I actually even had. I remember first game, third period, I had a breakaway, didn't score. Could have been a different game if I would score. Wouldn't be probably. We would be winning 1-0. Then we lost that one. I think 4 overtime or something. Mm-hmm. Matthew Tkachuk scored, and then another game, another overtime. He scores again, and at home we're losing 2-0. Then we go there. We lost all 4 games by, I think, one goal.
Yeah,
it was a tight series, but probably wasn't anything lucky from them. They just played better in overtimes, and on the power play they scored more goals in the series. They were good there, and they deserve it a little more, and you got to bounce back next season.
I understand you did a podcast, and a friend of mine listened to it, and they told me that like when the whole Tkachuk thing was going on a year ago, Carolina was definitely there, and the word was that they had talked with you about them. And what I didn't realize is that you knew it. And I was just, as a young guy, how did you handle all that? How did you feel about all that?
About Calgary.
About the possibility of Calgary.
I mean, it was I never been traded or anything, so didn't really think. I didn't really know how it works. Didn't really know what's going to happen because I haven't signed yet back then, and I just heard some rumors that I might go there, or I was just waiting what's going to happen, and then Kachuk went to Florida. I signed, and at the end of the day, I was happy I stayed in Carolina, and had a good bounce back season.
Did anyone talk to you about it? Like you talked about like confidence and things like that. So in that moment, did you seek any advice? Like, how do I handle this? How do I deal with this, or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to even, in the summer, even before that, before I knew something's going to happen or, what's happening, I tried to work with my mental coach a lot, to be more, just, hockey's not just about, having good skill, being a good skater. It's, I don't know, at least half of the game is in your head, I feel like. And, if you're mentally prepared well, I feel like that makes a big difference. And that's one of the things I tried to change before the last season. And I feel like it's one of the things why I had a good season, because I was, mentally ready for basically every game.
What was the best advice your mental coach gave you? If you could share advice with someone who needs that help, what's the best advice you got?
We always say with him, even if you have a bad game or a good game, it always, you should always think about it just till the midnight. Then next day, once you come to practice or to the game, you shouldn't be, affected by the last game. You should, even if we have a bad game, there's 82 games in a season, and next day you just should come to practice. You should be happy. You should think, what do you want to get better at from the last game, not about, mistakes. So, that's one of the things I feel like I changed last year, and, wasn't really upset by the game before. I was thinking about it till the midnight, and then next day is a new day, new challenge, and that way.
That's healthy. Listen, great season last season. Bigger and even better things, if that's possible, on the horizon for you. Continued success.
Thank you so much. Thank you.